Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Bodycheck. This is a sports game from Ludometrics, who previously did another game on the Vita, which unfortunately is not coming to mind right now. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Bodycheck. So let's talk about Bodycheck. Have a look at the options real quick. Some very quick how to play stuff here. There is something missing though. I want you to remember this screen. I'll be able to show you it in the match anyway, but I want you to remember this screen in particular. You've also got credits, music and effects volume, and you can change your player selection. However, I don't know how the player selection works when it's on manual. So, leave it on automatic, because if you leave it on manual, you're not going to be able to do anything. I don't know why that's a thing. You've got a trophy room, league versus triple threat and quadrophobia. Those relate to the league and the tournament. You do have multiplayer, it is online and local, but I don't have anyone to play with, so I'm not going to be playing with anyone, unfortunately. There are scenarios, which are all pretty obvious if you just read those quick little descriptions that you see just below the gigantic scenarios tab there. It makes perfect sense, at least I think it does. You have leagues and tournaments, and leagues are exactly what they sound like. I know it says I haven't done a league here, but we'll get to why that is shortly. And it's basically just matches, end on end. You go up the ladder. You got to do 3 leagues in a row, and you got to come at least 4th in the first 2 leagues, and then you got to come first in the 3rd league. And unfortunately, there's no real way to improve or move forward on that. So you need to just, you just need to actually keep winning in order to keep going. There seems to be no way to improve yourself otherwise. And of course, you've got your typical tournaments. And your 3 tournaments are versus triple threat and quadrophobia, which are 2, 3, and 4 teams on the field respectively, and it works exactly like as a regular tournament. You play enough matches, you decide who wins in playoffs, and then you go down the actual tree itself. But we won't bother with either of these because it's relatively unnecessary, because we can duplicate everything that offers in the grudge matches. And the grudge matches are literally just the free play, do whatever the hell you want matches, right? So it's not like it matters too much. For the purpose of demonstration, I will be playing with 2 teams for the first few games, then we'll play a 3 and a 4 team game. I just picked 2 random teams here because it doesn't really matter. The only thing that changes between teams is the magic spell that you get. So the game starts immediately, and we have 2 minutes to do whatever it is we feel is necessary to win the game. And to win the game, it is very, very simple. To win the game, what you need to do is you need to... To win the game, what you need to do is you need to score. It's pretty obvious, actually. And to score, you just need to get it within the opponent's goal, like so. Huh? Where did he come from? Okay, never mind. You just need to get it into the opponent's goal. You get it past that specific line, and you will get the points. You get 3 points for... Whoops. You get 3 points for walking it in like that. You get 5 points from throwing it in outside the circle. And notably, you also get 7 points if you knock out another player. You knock out other players via using the defensive moves. The defensive moves are X for a punch and square for a tackle. And these will make the enemy drop the ball no matter what. Except if they're like the really big dudes for whatever reason. They take 1 or 2 punches extra on top of that. And the slide tackle will always take out the enemy. It's a bit odd, but it works somewhat. There are things that don't work for it, but we'll get into that. There is also magic spells, as I said before, and the magic spells are different between every team. You press triangle to use a magic spell, and whatever you have equipped at the moment, whatever person you have selected at the moment, I should say, is the character that will cast the spell. However, this does not work out in your favor very often, because you often don't have the person selected who will be best to use said spell. It's kind of annoying. So you have to be very sure you know exactly what one of your characters has been selected, otherwise you are not going to be able to use your spells effectively. There's a lot of problems with this game, and that's just one of them. So, what else is there that I have to talk about? Right, the attacking controls. The attacking controls are also very simple. You have the square button, which is a block, but it doesn't work very well because of how limited the block time is. And you also have a pass button on the X button, but it also counts as just a regular, like, throw button. However, if you want to make a shot on the goal, you press circle. And that's pretty much it. That is your entire control scheme. There is not that much else to it. No, hang on. I'll select a different random team so that we actually get something a little different. There we go. Now I'm going to talk about all the problems this game has, because this game, despite the fact that this game took 2 years to come out, it feels decidedly undercooked. Like, ridiculously undercooked. There are a lot of problems with it. The game has basically no sense of depth whatsoever. And there are many, many reasons for this. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm entirely skilled in... Oh dear. We're just firing out all the electric spells we got. I'm not going to say I'm entirely skilled or even knowledgeable in sports games, but I like to think I know at least what makes a good game, let alone a good sports game. So, I like to think that I have an idea of what works and what doesn't in a sports game, and so all the problems I'm going to list right now, because I've got them all written down on my notepad, will at least be a relatively good idea of just what the hell went wrong with this game, despite the fact it spent 2 years in development. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you at least some of what's wrong with it. So the first thing is the lack of control with your shots. Now, when you press the circle button or even the X button at particular areas, your shots will always aim towards a very specific point, which I believe to be the exact middle of the enemy's goal. No matter where you are, no matter how you're pressing the D-pad, no matter what you're doing in the meantime, you will always throw shots from the circle button, and a lot of the time through the X button as well, through to the exact middle of the goal. Every time. I guarantee you that this is always the case. I have not been able to get a shot off anywhere other than the middle of the goal once. And I do not know who came up with this plan, but they are an idiot. Because that means there is no way of actually taking shots that works. It just makes the actual shot taking almost impossible to do, because in order to take a shot effectively, you will need to take out the goalkeeper. And taking out the goalkeeper will involve getting up there and using a magic spell. That's all you can do to take out an AI goalkeeper. Because they will always catch a ball thrown at center mass, and we'll get to why that is very shortly indeed. Shock therapy, why not? Who else? Bossa Nova, okay. The second problem is that the camera gets ridiculously close and stays there, and it's not configurable. Now, usually, like, I was playing Active Soccer 2 DX, and that game zooms in pretty far. It's not great about it, but it does have camera options that work, right? It does let you zoom out a little bit, and it does have this giant radar. And this giant radar lets you see everything that's going on the field, and it does let you see where your passes are going to go. This game has none of that. If you want to throw a pass, and you want to throw it to someone, you have no... Where the fuck was my goalie going? What the fuck happened there? See, there he is. And then he just ran in the complete opposite direction. What the fuck, mate? God damn it. So back to what I was saying. The really close camera means that if you want to throw a pass, you will not know whether or not there is a guy sitting just off screen wanting to take your shit. That happens constantly in this game. That happens constantly. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Oh, fuck off. It swapped control to my goalkeeper for like half a second, and of course I was holding down at the time, so the ball just soared right past him, because fuck me sideways. But as I was saying, you want to make a pass and there's a guy right in front of you? Well, you're not going to see that guy who's right in front of you. he's just gonna take the ball and he's just gonna run with it. Also, these animations suck, but we'll get to that. This close camera just really hampers the game because it means that you can't really tell what the hell is going on. Goalie! Goalie, what the fuck were you doing? I didn't even swap to him that time. What? I don't even know. Might as well get onto that problem now while we're on it. The AI is anywhere between retarded and psychic at any moment in time. Like, whenever you're coming up on the enemy goal, you will have to deal with the AI goalie, what the fuck am I talking about? You'll have to deal with the AI goalie going around in a semicircle, meaning that he always knows where the ball is. Game crashed. I'm gonna have to restart it. This is another problem that the game's got. I'm not sure if it's me. We'll get onto that. But yeah, the AI, it can be really psychic at times because it knows exactly what to do, but then at times, like one of those goals that I just missed, the fucking, the goalie will just stand there and let the ball go right past him. And I don't know why the fuck it does that. I legitimately don't know. It'll just sail right past you, and your AI won't do anything about it. And it is hilariously bad sometimes. And the AI is just bad. It's really bad at times. Just by how badly it can screw things up. Oh look, the goalie's got it again. Away we go. There is one thing that you might be able to do when it comes to your AI troops. But how do I put this? They don't tell you that it's in the game. Remember that how to play screen I showed you a few minutes ago? Did it mention that the L button has defensive and offensive tactics on it? No, it did not. So, ow. Yeah, that was my fault. I walked away from the goal as the goalie. I should have gone the other direction, but oh well. So, it's just, I don't know why in God's name they hid this tactics system behind the L button and then didn't tell anyone about it. What was that? I had control of my goalie and I couldn't even see him. What the fuck was that? Auto-select my ass. You can see when you're controlling a guy off screen, but yeah, good luck with that. So I don't know why they decided to hide that, but I kind of have an inkling that that whole tactics system doesn't work. Shit. I have an inkling that that whole tactics system just doesn't work properly, and that's why they don't tell you about it, because I haven't noticed any significant change. I found that by pure luck, more or less, right? I found it more or less by chance while I was just, like, hitting all the buttons trying to figure out how the bloody auto-select worked. That's the only reason I managed to figure it out, so there you go. There's no stats, as far as I can tell as well, and I know that people who play these sorts of sports games absolutely love, like, their ridiculous amounts of stats, right? So, not having any stats on any of these players to play around with in a league or something like that seems like a bit of a misstep. But considering this is literally a game full of missteps, well, there's not really that much that can surprise me anymore. You may have noticed a couple of times that I managed to run the goalie straight to the goal without even trying. Well, yep, goalies are faster than everyone. for no particular reason whatsoever, they can outrun literally everyone else on the field, and that makes no sense to me. It's dumb. So, if your goalie gets a hold of the ball, they can just run for it. They can absolutely just belt it to the goal around the edges of the field, and they'll probably make it, because no one can catch up with them. Not to mention the AI just kind of doesn't know what to do after that point. So, you end up with... Oh, fuck me. Are you serious? God damn it. Do you see that? I got control of the AI goalie like a quarter of a second before it went into the goal. Auto select system, my ass. Yeah, speaking of which, the auto select system. I don't know how it works. I'm not going to claim to know how the auto select system works, and I don't know how you're supposed to actively play the game if you turn it off, because it doesn't seem that there's any way for you to actually swap players once you've... There's no way for you to actively swap players once you've turned it off, since all the buttons actually do something. I don't know if it's the R button, but that didn't seem to do anything for me, and that's like the only button on the controller that seems to do anything. There's also the right stick, but the right stick doesn't do anything as well, as far as I can tell. Seriously? God damn it. There is also the knockout rule. The knockout rule is simple to understand, but a massive pain in the ass to actually deal with in practice. So you have the stamina bars underneath the people, and those stamina bars, if they get emptied, the team who got the knockout, because you can have 3- or 4-way fights in this game, the team who got the knockout will get a massive amount of points for it. More than any goal that you can actively score. And considering all the other problems about keeping an eye on your teammates, seeing what the bloody hell is going on in the field, and seeing how much health they have left, if someone gets down to low health because of just a complete clusterfuck of a spell lineup or something, you won't be able to do anything about it. That you'll just get... The knockout rule will just be activated like 2 seconds before the match ends and you'll lose. And this has happened to me 3 times. It just feels unfair. It feels really unfair in comparison to all the other rules that the game's got. Especially since some teams... Oh, fuck me. It swapped me to the keeper again when I couldn't see what I was fucking doing. Considering that some of the spells in the game do way more damage than other spells, it means that teams that are balanced towards spells that are of the knockout variety stand a way better chance at actually... They stand a way better chance at actually getting knockout points than the other teams. Also, my goalie just went so far out of field, despite the fact that he's meant to be my fucking goalie. He just went so far out of my own goal that I'm amazed that he got back in time. But anyway, time to make another free run, except time's up. Because the matches are really damn short for some reason. Let's go play a 4-team match. Alright. Saturn 8. The Lightning Dealers. Bossa Nova. And the Element Hunters. Here is what a 4-way match looks like. Exactly the same rules, just with 4 sets of goals. It's absolute chaos. You have no idea what's going on at any time of the day, so good luck with that. Not to mention the frame rate seems to take a hit here for no discernible reason. Well, I mean, to be fair, there probably is a discernible reason, and the discernible reason is probably this game's really poorly coded. This game wasn't actually made on Unity, despite what it looks like. It was actually made on something called Autodesk Games something. I don't remember the exact name, but it's really freaking weird. I'm not going to claim to know what the deal is, but The engine runs terribly. It also looks terrible. Like, that's meant to be blood on the ground there, by the way. At least I think it's meant to be blood. But it looks like some kind of really bad transparency effect from the Genesis era. Yeah, look at this. This is absolute chaos. You're never going to figure out what the fuck is happening in a 4-way match. Wait, what? Own goal? What? That didn't even go in. Are you fucking for real? Fuck me sideways on a... something. What a piece of shit. There is also some other problems with the way the game looks and feels. Like, the animations are really canned and feel very stiff. You can see in the replays that it takes a while after the animation's actually complete before anything actually happens, like the ball gets dropped or control swaps or whatever. You can see it happen, and it makes the game feel relatively weightless and just unpleasant to play. Also, apparently LIT has 24 points now for some reason. Must have been a lot of knockouts going on. There is also this weird problem that's come up in like 5 different matches that I've had where the ball will get stuck in the wall. And the problem with it getting stuck in the wall is that the AI will literally just freeze around the wall for like 20 to 30 seconds while all of them think to themselves, how the fuck do I get this ball out of here? And it's just, it's stupid. It's really stupid. It happens enough that it makes me think that nobody actually playtested this. There is also one more problem, and you've already seen it once in this video. Wow, this has been going for 22 minutes. There is also one more problem. The game is really fucking crashy. I don't know if it's me, because the memory card I'm playing this on right now, and the memory card I've had most of my crashes on, is a 8GB memory card that's barely 3 months old, right? So, I don't even know what's going on here. The memory card I'm playing this on is 3 months old, and it's crashed 5 or 6 times. And 4 of those were in really close conjunction with each other. I took out my 8GB memory card, put in my 32GB memory card, which I know is partially corrupt, and used it. There's another crash. I put in my other memory card and tried it, and it went fine, and then I got back on this one, and went fine for about 3 matches, then I decided to do my video, and it started to crash again. Autodisk Stingray, that's it, yeah. So, I don't know if it's my memory card, but what are the chances of a 3GB memory card that hasn't been used yet? I might as well play a 3-way match. What are the chances of a 3-month-old memory card that's only been used in this Vita getting corruption problems? I would say pretty low. Not impossible. Not impossible, but I will let you know if any other games start crashing on my Vita. There is one other game I've had that crashed on my Vita, and that was Skeleton Rider, but that was on a level that was really processor intensive, so I can't say I know for sure. But yeah, I've spent 25 minutes playing this game and I don't have one single good word to say about it. I haven't said one yet, and I'm not going to say one now. Might as well talk about the audio. The audio is unpleasant to listen to. It's really just loud, and it doesn't really sound like anything. You can hear a cheer every now and then, but it just seems like loud and obnoxious for no reason other than being loud and obnoxious. There doesn't seem to be any real attempt at sound design, I guess. I wouldn't know. but it just feels loud for the sake of being loud. Not to mention it sounds terrible coming out of the Vita speakers. Online multiplayer might help, but I'm not the sort of person that gives a game a pass for being fun in online multiplayer when it's not fun in single player. That was a quick look at Bodycheck. It is a terrible game. I have absolutely nothing positive to say about it whatsoever. The problems are legion. This game wouldn't need a patch to get fixed. It would need an entire rewrite from the ground up to change the way it worked fundamentally in order to make it actually fun to play. But, oh god, no. Do not buy this under any circumstances. It is not worth your time. It really isn't. There are so many other games you can play that are better. Active Soccer 2 DX. I thought that game was merely okay. Average. Alright. It did its job and it did it perfectly reasonable. That would be 100 million times better than this. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.